Hi. So I thought about, well, I actually started writing a book about my life, and I think what I'm going to do is start from the beginning, from what I remember as being a child, and I'm going to be referring back to my book, so I know whereabouts I am and I don't get lost or repeat things, but I probably will repeat things because that's what I do. Um, so anyway, as a child, sort of like below 5 years old, well, five, in between 5 and 8, I remember every time I walked up the stairs, or probably not every time, but when I walked up the stairs, I just always wanted to run up the stairs because I felt that there was something behind me. Um, and I can remember waking up in the night and having nightmares and like hiding under my duvet. And I remember going to the toilet and passing the airing cupboard, and I could see like things flying out of the airing cupboard. And then I wanted to go to the toilet, and I just remember a skeleton was sitting on the toilet laughing at me. Um, Now, this just always sticks in my mind, and it could have been a dream, but I don't think it was just a dream. My mum said to me as a child that I would just like chatter to myself, playing on my own with myself, and just talk. So obviously looking back, I was talking to someone. But yeah, growing up, I just always felt uneasy. Always felt like I was being followed. Um, never felt, never felt. Oh, frick. So let's go back. So yeah, I just had to clip that. Um, so yeah, as a child, that I just I felt like I could sense things around me, um, and this is just going down my book, and I don't know, I'm getting lost with things. Okay. Um, so my granddad died when I was 8, and I was in Spain with my auntie and my uncle, and I came back, and I was told that he died, and I obviously didn't understand and everything, and at that age we wasn't allowed to, or that time we wasn't allowed to go to the funeral. And so time went on, and we moved just down the road, 1980, so I was like 10. And that was when I think my dreams started with my granddad, and he'd always be like flying through the window with a shotgun saying, "You need to come with me." And I just always had dreams of him wanting me to be with him. Um, and I think I started to detach from reality then. Or maybe I didn't even, maybe I was never in the reality from a young child. Maybe I was just always in my own world, which probably would make sense, being in my own world. They say you create your own reality in that, but I think I was doing it from a child. So when I was about 12 or 13, I don't know why I started to do this, but I got some tissue and sprayed some hairspray and on the tissue, and then I started smelling the tissue. I'd never seen anybody do it. I don't think I'd ever watched anything with that, or any kind of drugs or aerosols or anything, but I did that and I got hooked. So from the age of 12, 13, I was doing that, and it turned to gas canisters, and I was doing it everywhere. I was doing it at work when I was 17. I was doing it around my friend's house. and I was doing it up until I was 27, when I got some help in hospital. But anyway, so I did the aerosols from 13 to 27, and when I was 26, 25, 26, I started doing amphetamines, I started doing coke and ecstasy, and I actually liked where my mind was going, and it took me away from the reality, and I preferred that world. I didn't really do it for the high, even though that was nice at the time. And I'm not saying that's good. I'm not proud of what I did. I just think it was just part of me trying to escape the reality that I was in, and just wanted to escape into somewhere that my mind was, and with me, I found that the drugs took me there. But obviously, with a lot of people, it doesn't take you there, it takes you to heaven, and it can really screw your life up, and that basically did screw 20 years of my life up, doing all them drugs, and that's what started the main psychosis in me, and it was just pure insanity. So from going back to 13, I started doing a paper round, and I enjoyed getting up and doing the paper round, earning a little bit of money, and being at school. I didn't really enjoy the schoolwork, but I enjoyed my friends. We was in a group of probably 12 to 15 people in our group of friends, and there was one of me and my friends. We used to go on little adventures and trying to find treasure and all that, and like proper tomboys really. We used to go in the fields in haystacks, and it's just nothing compared to the childhood what people have today. I mean, we were quite blessed, I think, in the 80s, 70s, 80s, growing up, probably even some of the 90s, growing up and just going out and into the fields and exploring, going down the brooks and little rivers, and so that's what I did with my friend. And so yeah, school wasn't very good. I found it hard keeping things in my mind. Nothing really appealed to me. My art, I did love my art at school. I loved drawing, and every now and then, probably not so often, but I do like drawing and painting and expressing myself that way. So any other subject I just didn't like. And in my English class, I used to fall asleep. I mean, I used to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning to do my paper round, and I used to fall asleep in my English. And my friend would just nudge me and say, "Nick, you're snoring." But I mean, all the time, when I was on my paper round, I used to make stories up in my mind to let the time pass. So these stories, and I just want to apologise for jumping like to and fro, because like that's just, my mind jumps to and fro. I'm like there, and whatever. So, but that's what was like. See, I'm forgot now what I'm saying. Oh, whoops. Yeah, these stories I used to make up. So I probably when I was about 13, 14, 15, I used to make these stories up. And at that age, I was just well into Bon Jovi. And as many girls at that time, women or whatever, were just in love with John. And so in my little story, I got this mansion in my hometown, and my hometown down there. In my hometown, so I imagined this mansion, and John was my boyfriend, and Dave Bryan, the keyboardist, he was my cousin, and it was nobody knew that I knew, apart from Bon Jovi and some people that knew that I knew that Dave Bryan was my cousin. So this was just all in my little story that I was making up. And I would, at And I just always remember in the story that in the living room in my mansion in front of the mantelpiece, I got all the Bon Jovi, Tico Torres, Alex Donsech, Richie Sambora, and John. I think that's all. Yeah, Dave Bryan. I wanted them to get their hands out, like, you know, pull their hands out like that, and I just like laid across their hands, and I had a photo of that on my mantelpiece, and lovely white marble mantelpiece in the living room. And I remember that photo with it being there. I remember it like it was like actually happening or real. But anyway, but then, yeah, what is real? What is real? What is dream? Are we dreaming? Oh, am I dreaming now? I don't know. Am I awake? Am I dreaming? Anyway. So I used to make these stories up. So every day I used to make these stories up, and I used to make them up when I used to go to bed as well, to get me to sleep. And so that went on for quite some years, until Take That came on the scene. So that must have been 1996. Was it 1996, 1995? I don't know, when I first saw them anyway. And so my story changed, and Robbie was my boyfriend, and Gary Barlow was my cousin. And I won't go into the whole story or the, you know, what I was making up, but the mansion obviously was still there. And by that time, I've got plants in the corner. I've got a nice dining room table. I've got my utility room. I've got my dance hall, my dance studio, recording studio, and my helicopter pad that was on. I just added more things into the mansion, and just added different stories in that, and me going over to LA and meeting people over there. Actually it was Mark that I first liked. So it was Mark that I got with, and then just one time in this bungalow in Manchester, in my story, Robbie just walked in one time, and I don't know, we just hit it off, I suppose. We just gave each other the eye, and that was it. I'm sorry, Mark, but Robbie's my man. And God, I wish. So yeah, I did kind of disappear a lot, making my stories up when I walked down the street or went to bed, or even just sitting down watching telly. My mind would be going into my story. And it used to be every day for years and years. And but then it stopped when he met Ida, and she's such a lovely woman. They got married, so in 2007, I think they met in 2006, and 2007, I think they got married in 2010. So when they got married, because when they was together, I was still doing these stories, because I believed I was making a reality. But there's obviously other things that I was thinking, and other profound things that I was thinking, I was thinking every day for years and years and years, trying to bring it into my reality. So when they got married, I stopped my stories. I thought, that's it, I'll stop. But it obviously doesn't stop me from thinking about him. And but I just think... and then it wasn't until, I don't know, in the last 10 years maybe, that I was did read a bit about we create our own reality. And I was a little bit blown away, because like I'd been doing these stories and making up these stories and thinking so hard about this from such a young age, like 12, 13, and I was making that same story up every day. And you know, it was all the power of the thought and that. And so the more I was doing some research into your thoughts become reality, I was just thinking, well, what have I been doing? And like I was saying to my friend yesterday, chatting to my friend yesterday, that I whatever goes on in the world, whatever goes on with people in the news, in the world, in the music industry, in the film industry, on TV, films or whatever goes on, I fit that into my reality. I fit it into my reality. I find a reason why it's happening. And that's always through my life. There's always something that either to me it's expected, and there has been things that I've thought up, dreamt, or fantasized or whatever, dreamt, and it's happened. It's happened. So whatever goes on, it's like, yeah, I knew that. I expected that. I know everything that's going on. I don't know everything that's going on. With me, I do. I've not known really worldly matters. Sometimes I feel a little bit. I'm not gonna say that word. Oh, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. But sometimes I feel a little bit thick, because I don't really know about history. Don't really know about a lot of things. But then there's a lot of things I do know, and it's just what I've been going through, and I'm very good at keeping quiet. So, and I've always wrote journals, diaries from a young age, 12, 13. I started writing my diaries, and then when I got a computer, 2003, 2004, I got a computer and I started chatting. Actually, it probably wasn't when I first started chatting. It was, I don't know when it first started, but with the deep conversations that I used to have, I know what I still have now, or conversations that I have with people that I think mean something, or it could mean something in the future, I will copy it and keep it and document it. So there's a lot of things that I document. I think it's needed for my future. And the things that I do document, when I've been in hospital, I just document a lot of things because I think for me it's needed for me, maybe for my book. And wouldn't it be a dream if I could make a film? Because I have always wanted to do a film. And it would be scary, it would be insightful, it'd be like a horror story. So anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it here, and I'll see what I'll do next. Okay, bye.